South Korea's Foreign Minister Park Jin engaged a number of diplomatic gatherings in Indonesia's Jakarta, where ASEAN-related meetings took place this week. There, he sat down for talks with his Japanese counterpart ahead of Japan's plan to release the Fukushima wastewater into the ocean. For more details, we have our foreign affairs correspondent, Bae Eun-ji. Welcome back, Eun-ji.
Thanks for having me.
Eun-ji, first off, Tokyo's plan to discharge the Fukushima wastewater was no doubt on top of the agenda, right?
Right, the issue of Fukushima wastewater release was discussed at the meeting. Anger and fear have been growing in South Korea as Japan is set to release radioactive water from its Fukushima power plant soon, now that the International Atomic Energy Agency has approved the plan. During the closed-door meeting on Thursday that lasted about 45 minutes, Park reportedly stressed that South Koreans' health and safety was his first and foremost concern. He added the Japanese government needs to take additional measures to reassure the public. He asked Japan to first share its monitoring results of the discharge in real time with South Korea, and second, to halt the release process if the concentration of radioactive material surpasses international standards. The measures echoed those requested by President Yoon to Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida during their summit earlier this week, when they met on the sidelines of the NATO summit in Lithuania. In response, Japanese Foreign Minister Yoshimasa Hayashi reportedly said that his country would monitor the situation and take appropriate measures if the radioactivity measured goes above limits.
So putting the safety and the health of the South Korean public as a principal condition ahead of the plan.
That's right.
Then what about North Korea issues? Because the regime did fire an intercontinental ballistic missile on Wednesday, which was a day before the ASEAN meeting. Or actually the Park Jin and Hayashi meeting, right?
That's right. Both ministers strongly criticized the regime's latest missile test, with Park stressing that this was a serious violation of UN Security Council resolutions that could not be justified. He added it was regrettable that the North continues to ignore the poverty suffered by its people and instead waste its assets on nuclear missile development.
And Eun-ji, Hayashi wasn't the only official that Park Jin met with in Jakarta. Park Jin also joined diplomats from Japan and China to take part in the ASEAN Plus 3 meeting. Tell us more about that.
Right, the ASEAN Plus 3 consists of ASEAN nations and 3 East Asian countries, South Korea, China, and Japan. At the meeting, Park was joined by China's top diplomat, Wang Yi, a former foreign minister and current head of the ruling Communist Party's Central Commission for Foreign Affairs. Wang was in Jakarta to represent China on behalf of the country's foreign minister, Qin Gang, who was last seen in public on June 25th and was not able to attend because of health reasons. Officials at the meeting agreed on the importance of strengthening cooperation among the ASEAN Plus 3 members for the region to remain at the epicenter of growth. Seoul's foreign ministry said Park laid out detailed plans focusing on 3 key elements: expanding cooperation, strengthening resilience, and innovating for the future. China's Wang also said key nations in the region need to closely cooperate with each other. And Japan's Foreign Minister Hayashi said it's important to maintain a free and open international order for the Indo-Pacific region to remain as the center of global growth. As for the crisis in Myanmar, Park expressed his concerns about the situation getting worse. He noted that the South Korean government recently provided $500,000 in humanitarian aid after Myanmar was hit by a devastating cyclone, and added Korea plans to provide another $530,000.
All right, Eun-ji, thank you so much for summing that up. We appreciate it.
My pleasure.